Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Max. My little dog's name is Jackson. This is the Daily Factor. It's kind of the late night edition. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I meant to start this about 9:30, but I had a previous interview that went over with a friend of mine named Andre McClendon. He's a financial influencer, and I've known him for about a year and a half or something. Anyway, he's an interesting guy, a young guy, and we chopped it up. It was a good show. I had a great time. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I guess the first thing I want to check is the market. We'll get to the daily factor here in a second. I want to make sure people are. It looks like only one of my subscribers is up at this time of night, which is fine. I know it's late. Now we got two of you guys here too, so I bet that's all. I bet it's Froggy, and I can't look. I'm not looking at the comments right now because I still have this up. I bet it's Froggy, and I bet it's old Chad. Chad and Froggy is my guess. Anyway, let's see what the market's doing. It's okay. It's DGen place for or whatever. I don't know how to say that, but anyway. And then we have Nicholas Silver here too. Heck yes. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's look at a 24-hour chart, maybe some Bitcoin futures, or we'll look at the Coinbase price. Come on, bounce. It's at 102. I mean, isn't this where it's supposed to bounce? I mean, last time it bounced at 99. I mean, and well, it actually hit 99 today. I didn't notice that. Or, well, yesterday. I mean, looks like it bounced off 99 2 or 3 times. Come on, guys. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Let's see how that's affecting the stock index futures. It's a 24-hour S&P futures quote. That's a daily chart, but you can even tell. I mean, I could put on a shorter-term chart, but you can tell that's going straight sideways. It's in the same range that today's action was in. So anyway, no need to get a bigger chart. Let's see what the NASDAQ is doing. Can you hear me all right? I don't know if I have for some reason, I don't think my microphone's working. Anyway, I've been speaking louder. My microphone wasn't working on that live stream I just did, but I just sat closer to the computer and tried to speak louder. I don't know. I don't think this thing's working. Anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me. All right. NASDAQ is also trading within the prior day's range. So that to me is kind of a nothing burger. And the prior day traded within the prior day's range for the most part. And that day traded within that prior day's range. And the day before that broke out to the upside, which is good. But since then, we've just been going straight sideways in the grand scheme of things. A little up, a little down. And all right, so let's see who's here. And then we're ready for the closed-in fund. I just want to make sure everyone's here. We got a crowd in here. We got 13 of you guys. Yeah, you guys are all that matters. There you go. Now, Chad was on my last. That was a pretty fun show, wasn't it, Chad? I thought that went really well. All right, so let's talk the max factor. So what even is the max factor? The max factor is my own metric that I designed myself because traditional Wall Street doesn't have a good answer for these high yield funds. Fund managers will tell you, hey, look at total return. And yes, that's good. I mean, it's better than looking at yield. You don't want to look at yield. All right, but looking at total return is a decent way to do it. But no total returns are created the same. No total returns are equal. You can have two companies that have a 40% total return, and one can be a lot better investment than the other company for a variety of reasons. My max factor doesn't look at total return. It looks at the components of total return, and it studies how they interact with each other because they work at odds of each other. If one goes up, the other one goes down, but you have to study that relationship. So anyway, I think I have a pretty good knack for this. But having said that, tonight's show, we generally, instead of looking at on the Saturday, I have my top 20 funds of the week. But on, hey, Grumpy, how you doing? On tonight, on the daily show, we take a subsector of the 160 funds I follow. Well, tonight's subsector is closed-end funds. And I need to preface that by saying I don't know anything about closed-end funds. I'm an option bro. I mean, I know a little bit about him, and I know a lot of people like him, and they help a lot of people in retirement. So we are going to we're going to talk about closed-end funds tonight. So it may kind of sound like I'm making stuff up because I am going to have to make a lot up. When I was making the graphic, I'd never even heard of lots of these. But anyway, whatever, we'll get through it together. Okay, so what I usually do is we start over here with yield. So let's just go with the highest yielding one first and kind of look at our contestants. Now, and also here's another caveat. My friend BR sent me a whole list of closed-end funds, probably 50 of them or 100 of them. I didn't have time to put them all on the Max Factor, so I selected the 5 or 10 highest yielding, because that's kind of what we study here is high yield of the closed-end funds. But maybe by next week I'll have the whole list of closed-end funds working. But in any event, I selected the ones I know about, which is CRF, CLM, CEFS. I know about a few of them, so I put the ones that I know about, the people I can hear, and then I added some off BR's list. But if your favorite one's not on here, that's just the way it is this week. But anyway, so look, I'm going to have to bring up FinViz to see what these are to even be able to talk about them. I mean, what the heck is SWZ? You got to be kidding me. SWZ. I mean, I like option funds. I like NVIDIA and Apple. I like blue chip stocks. I don't know about this kind of stuff. But anyway, let's just do this. And what was it, SWZ? All right, this is the Total Return Securities Fund. Wow, okay. Well, let's take a look at the chart really quick. I just mainly want to see what the name of it was. We look at the chart, see what's going on. Total Return Securities Fund. It sounds good. Sounds good to me. Let's see. It has 12.9 million shares outstanding. I was trying to figure out the AUM. I don't know where to see the AUM on here. Well, anyway, it has 12.9 million. Oh, well, there it is. It's 78 million market cap. In any event, I don't even know how to read this stuff. Okay, so that's that. But it says it's paying a 50% yield or something. So we'll see how it does in the Max Factor. The next one is ECC. Now, ECC is one that I've heard of, but only because somebody said I need to put it in here, I think. So let's see what all ECC is. But we'll just take a quick look at these. Eagle Point Credit Company. Okay. So what does this baby yield? 28%. And lots of these yields can be a little bit deceptive because closed-end funds, lots of them traded at a premium, but then you can buy them on drip at a discount on some of them. Some of them you can't. So that's why I'm hedging so much. I admittedly don't know a lot about these, but I'm going to learn. Now, this is a big one. It has 783 million under management. The price is, going down and to the right, but it pays 28%. And so that could still work out. And it's only dropped from like 8 to 6. That's not too far. So anyway, all right. Well, we'll see how it does in the Max Factor. The Max Factor can figure all this out. FCO. What in the heck is FCO? FCO. Can you guys hear me all right? How bad does the microphone sound? I don't know why I would be getting comments if it was bad. Okay. Anyway, FCO. What in the heck is FCO? I'll know these by next. Oh my gosh! Look, what the heck happened there? That looks like one of my trades. Come on. This. Anyway. All right. What's the AUM? It's 40 million. It looks like it used to be about 80 million, and it got cut in half. But oh well, that happens sometimes. There's no free money in investing or in life. OCCI. What the heck is OCCI? OCCI is OFS Credit Company. I may have chosen the worst funds on here. You guys probably hate these. I just went to the spreadsheet that was provided to me and sorted it by yield and threw the highest yielding ones on there. So I may have some ones that maybe aren't the best investments. Like, this is not financial advice, and none of my stuff ever is. Okay, this has 137 million, and it's some type of credit closed-end funds. So let's see what we got next on the chart. We got GGT. Is this like GOT or no? GOT's Game of Thrones. GOF is a closed-end fund. All right. GGT. Oh, Gabelli. At least I've heard of Gabelli. I mean, Gabelli Multimedia Trust. Sounds cool. Let's see how big this one is. It's at $4 a share. kind of going down and to the right, worth 150 million. All right, we'll give this one a shot. It's going up lately. It's turned around and gone up lately. Okay. Let's see what the next one is. BCAT. Now, this is another one that I've heard of because people have texted me and said, can you put this one in? BCAT. Oh, BlackRock Capital Allocation Term Trust. Okay. The old Capital Allocation Term Trust. Yeah, I know all about that. Just joking. I pretty much just pay attention to tech stocks and options, but that's fine. I need to branch out. I need to broaden my horizons. This baby has 1.5 billion, so that probably explains why I've heard of it. That's probably a pretty good one. All right, so let's go over ECAT, and I've heard of that one too, BCAT and ECAT. So BlackRock Capital Allocation, is this one like an energy trust or something? I'm trying to think. ECAT. BlackRock ESG, okay. All right. What is that? Environmental, social, and governance. I thought we canceled all that ESG and DEI. I thought that stuff was no good. Come on. What kind of communist lefty stuff are you guys trying to get me to watch here? Come on. What is this? I don't do ESG. Are you kidding me? I'm just joking. I like the environment and I like social governance and all that. All that's good stuff. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's good stuff. It's just misused, but it's good stuff. All right, CLM and CRF. We know what those are. Those are from Cornerstone, but I guess let's look really quick and get the AUM. Those are the ones that pretty much that all my guys in Discord love. Pretty much these are universally loved. I've never met anyone that didn't like Cornerstone. I met people that didn't have it or whatever, but they this one has 2.1 billion. I understand that CLM is more based on the S&P and CRF is more based on tech or something like that. Somebody told me that my source for that is some dude in Discord. So you can always trust what you hear on the internet, right? Maybe not on the internet, but my Discord is a good source for information. Anyway, Cornerstone Total Return Fund, how much does it have? Has about $1 billion. So CLM's bigger, and you do hear about CLM more than CRF. Okay, so next on the hit list is GOF. I've heard of this one too, just because I've heard people talk about it. GOF. Oh, yeah, and I've looked this one up before. Guggenheim Strategic Opportunities Fund. I mean, it sounds good to me. I like strategy. I like opportunities. 2.3 billion. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. But what's going on with this thing? What kind of dog are you guys trying to give me? It's obviously, does it have some crypto? Look when it started dropping, right? It topped out, in September. And anyway, just a lot of stuff topped out lately. But, I mean, it dropped from 15 to 13.20. It's down $1.50 or something. That's pretty nice drop, 10%. Market's only down about 5% at worst. I mean, so anyway, it has a little leverage or a little whatever, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Let's see, we have RIV. Is that Rivian? I'm just joking. RIV. It is River North Opportunities Fund. There's lots of opportunities out here. Probably an opportunity for the fund manager to make a lot of money. This thing has 250 mil under management. Anyway, the chart looks better than some of the other charts. All right. Well, let's see. We're almost done here. Why did I buy this freaking thing? Why did I get this dog? Why is what people say after they buy this one. They go, why, what was I doing? Now it's Amplify. I'm just joking. I think I clicked off of it. My gosh, you got to be kidding me. Okay. I do like Amplify and I do like high income. Amplify, it has some decent covered call funds, so that's good. The chart looks good on this thing. I mean, it got killed in April, but it really hasn't taken much beating, lately. It's down less than the market's down, or less, it dropped less than the market, but it sure dropped in April. No free money. Anyway, all right. YYY looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it might compete. We like competition, ASGI and CEFS. Okay, let's look at ASGI. This is another one that somebody asked me to put in. I think it was old Mayor, my friend from Israel. I don't know if he's on here this late. Oh, I told him I would email him the results of this show, and I need to remember to do that. Heck yes. No wonder he likes this fund. Aberdeen Global Infrastructure. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, he got killed in April, just like everything did, but then it recovered really fast, and now it's blowing up. Heck yeah, that's a good looking one. This is my favorite one so far. I like growth. All right, well, the last one is CEFS, and I've heard of this one before, obviously. This is a big one too. Let's see how big Aberdeen is. 600 million. All right, CEFS is a Saba closed-end. Now, it's a fund-to-fund, so they manage it for you. There's intricacies to these closed-end funds that you kind of have to be a specialist in them, I believe. And I really don't know enough about them. I would just get something like a Cornerstone or a CEFS and let somebody else handle all that stuff. You know, this doesn't pay a very big yield, only 7.8% according to here. But look at that chart. The chart goes up and to the right like it's supposed to. I mean, it lost money in April, but pretty much everything did. So this thing has, I don't see the AUM. There it is, 338 million. Okay, so that's our lineup. You guys think that's a pretty good lineup? All right. Yeah, if you guys have anything for me, just put Max in the front of it. I'll try to just scan. Hey, Jonathan, I'll try to just scan it and make sure there's nothing there. Okay. All right. But like I say, after I get done with this, anything you want me to answer, I'd be happy to do it. All right. So I need to remember to take the darn comment off the screen. All right. So let's get in the middle of this thing. Now that we have our lineup introduced, let's look at the quarterly NAV return. Geez, let's go from worst to best. FCO, are you kidding me? Down 54%. I told you these were dogs. GOF looked like a dog. All right, well, what's the good ones? The good ones are CRF, CLM, and CEFS. Yeah, that's the ones I've heard of course. Anyway, okay. Now let's look at the stable DEX. Now the stable DEX could be more accurately called relative stability. This shows you the stability of any asset, and it measures the price movement, how far it goes up, how far it goes down, and how frequently it goes up and down, and all that kind of stuff. But what it does is I look at the relative stability relative to the S&P 500. I'm considering that the market. I always say the market. It's outperforming the market. When I say that, I mean the S&P 500. But anyway, so this is the stability compared to the market. For instance, this FCO that's a real dog and down 50%, super unstable also. Let's see let's just look what the steadiest funds are. So we have CEFS, the one from Saba. I guess YYY isn't that bad. I always make fun of it just because of its ticker, but SWZ, okay, well, that one yields 54% and has stability. So basically, CRF, BCAT, RIV, SWZ, YYY, and CEFS are more stable than the broader market. And the ones that are on the bottom underneath, ACAT, ASG, the other ones are unstable. All right, so which ones are you pulling for? I mean, I'm trying not to look over there. I know the results are over there, but just eyeballing it, what I like, I mean, I want as much yield as possible. So that's but SWZ, but it has negative NAV returns. I mean, that's not the end of the world, but if I could get one with decent yield and decent NAV return, it's got to be CRF or CLM because they yield the most, and they yield, and plus they look like they protect capital. It's probably CRF. So let's run it. Let's see who it is. Yeah, CRF. I mean, yielding 17% and protecting capital and fairly stable. The stability factors into the equation also, but it's fine. I mean, CLM's stable, and these other ones that are down a little bit, they aren't down that much. These can make good plays too. It depends on, there's not a huge difference right there. I'd say anything from SWZ up, GGT, ASGI, Triple Y, CEFS, CLM, CRF looks like it does a decent job. It's being a good closed-end fund. All right. So did you guys like that? Let me take that off there. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna try to catch up with you guys really quick. So did anyone watch my interview? I know Chad did. Old Easy Life did. Yeah, I don't know if they all have rights, but somebody told me and said, "Hey, it's not just CLF and CRM that have rights offering; other ones do too." And anyway, I'm just trying to tell you in a nice way that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making it up as I go along, but I'll learn. I want to learn more about these. I have money to invest right now, and CRF and CLM is on my list of things I could get, but there's about 5 other things that are on the list too. So, but I mean, it's definitely something I'm definitely closed in fund curious. Let's just say that, I love the idea of the income factory. I love that concept. That's the same thing I'm trying to do, except with stock, with high yield funds. I think you could make with high yield funds, you can make an option factory or an option, a hedge fund, that's what I essentially, in fact, let's look at my investments. We can also talk about the ULTY video if you guys want to, just whatever you guys want to talk about. But so here we're talking about my portfolio allocation, my high end fund. I'm trying to make my own hedge fund. So I want to have, 5 or 6 good funds, about 15% each, and then 5 or 10% of some other stuff to kind of fill in the thing. So basically my core positions right now I have cash, but I need to deploy the cash. But right now my core positions are ULTY, blocks, and K yield. But oh shoot, hang on. Okay, I got it. And K, I hope it doesn't start doing this. Sometimes when I let it go too dead, it'll start clicking and stuff. I may have just screwed myself. Anyway, hopefully it'll work. But all I was trying to say is I'm planning on adding more WPay and more QLDY and building out some core positions. But then I wouldn't mind having a little CRF or CLM in there somewhere. I hate when I do this. Hang on. Gosh darn it. This happened the other day, and I had to shut my whole computer down to let my battery get back to charge. It may cut us off. If it cuts us off, it cuts us off. It's whatever. I'm sorry about that. I didn't see that it come unplugged. Jax, it's your fault. And probably really was. He goes down there and itches himself, scratches himself, and sometimes pulls the cord out a little bit. Yeah, Froggy, I'm feeling a lot better. I felt terrible this morning, but I drank a bunch of water. I think it was allergies. I took a Claritin and I took some more Advil. And by about 3 or 4, I finally started to rally. And now I'm doing well. So did you listen to the YieldMax? Yeah. So did you hear Mike Coe saying they're changing up ULTY? He said they're putting more blue chip funds and adding more funds, trying to deconcentrate. But he didn't say anything about their option strategy, but I noticed they're doing a different option strategy. So I made a video about their option strategy. But as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to go watch ETF Inspector. He's really good at dissecting option strategies too. He's like Rod, and he's really good at figuring out exactly how much money they make. So I'm going to go watch his video and see if he's figured out anything additional that I haven't figured out. But yeah, I'm excited about it, about the new strategy. I don't know. I mean, I thought the old strategy was fine. I mean, really, no strategy is perfect. Any strategy you do is going to have a drawback. So this strategy they do is going to have less put drag. But it doesn't even matter what that is. It's going to have less put drag, but it's also probably going to have a little bit less yield. But anyway, whatever. I mean, so in other words, if the market turns around and goes straight up, they're gonna probably wish they wouldn't have done this, because who knows, but you can't predict the future. And they're really good about listening to people, and people were calling for a change and they gave us one. So we'll see. I really think maybe the stock selection is going to be a bigger key than the option strategy. But what they did, basically, they found a way. They found a way to buy protection and not pay for it. Before they were selling a call to buy a put. and that's called a caller. Now they're still selling a call, but then they're also selling a put, and then they're still buying a put. So it's just a different way of doing it, but it should cause less drag. The put that they bought was dragging on the portfolio, and they found a way to eliminate neutralize some of that drag. So it should be interesting. I'm going to be covering it a lot more from now on. In fact, I downloaded the trades. I have today's trades in here, and as soon as I get out of here, right here, here's all their trades today. I need to go through here and see what they're doing. I mean, and I'll put some of these in option strat, and we'll talk about that in the morning show if there's anyone interested in that. But I thought that video was pretty good today that I did. I don't know if you guys had seen that. How deep can we dive in the ULTY video? What do you mean? You want to talk about that now? I mean, it was only a 10-minute video, and I really don't know much. And what I did put in there, I'm kind of guessing, because they only put on 2 new positions yesterday, but both of those new positions were the new strategy. They had Lululemon and they had Celsius Holdings. So here's Celsius Holdings. So this is their position they put in yesterday. They're doing well on it. It's up as of today. I don't know if they closed it yet, but right now it's ahead $36,000. Still the same thing. They just still need the market to go up. They still have limited loss on the downside. They're still a net seller premium. This trade brought in $195,000 credit. It has protected downside. It has upside to a point, and then it's capped. I mean, it's just a trade. It's just a different kind of trade, but it should be interesting. I was going to tell you guys something about this. So let's look over here at their trades and see if they did anything to that trade, if they took it off. And no, they didn't. So this trade from yesterday is still on. So we'll follow it. But the deal is, as time passes, so look at the white line. If the market doesn't move, and which it won't, but just in theory, they make $49,000. Well, as time passes, look at the green grow, and then by, this doesn't expire until next Friday, but by next Tuesday, this trade will be worth $160,000 because of the time decay. They're selling this call option and selling the put option, and they're making time decay with it. And they also have partial exposure to the upside. They also, if the market goes up, they make a little more. So it should be interesting for sure. It should definitely be interesting. I hope I didn't miss any comments. There's Richard. Hey, Richard. Okay, what are you saying here? You hope Alta gets back above 5? Yeah, me too. You and me both. So yeah, did you guys see the Spaces with Howard? That was a good one. My Twitter was cutting me off. Every time I signed on, it would sign me off, and I finally got logged in on my phone at the end. They asked me to ask a question, but I didn't know what had been asked before, and there was like 3 minutes left or 5 minutes left. So I just basically said, hi, you're doing a great job, Howard, and didn't ask a question. But I know ETF Inspector was in there, and I'm sure he asked all the questions I would have wanted to ask anyway. But yeah, I hope it gets back above 5 too. I hope it gets back above 5 as well also. So what are you saying, dividend? You're saying 5 cents weekly and $8 would be great. Yeah, what would that equal? Have you done the numbers on that? Well, 5 cents weekly, what's 5 times 52? Like 260 or something. So $2.60 on $8. What would that be? That'd only be about a 25% yield. I want to have more than that, right? I want 10 cents weekly on $8. I mean, that probably won't happen, but 8 cents weekly on $8. That would be, what's 8 times 52, like 400 something. That'd be about 50% yield. I don't know. Maybe what they're doing here, maybe with this new strategy, I'm trying to really think it through if it really will pay less yield. But anytime you're getting something, you're giving something. And I bet they're going to give up a little yield on this. But that would be fine with a lot of you guys, I know. So now what's going on tomorrow? People are talking about, did Trump do something, or is there something going on in the news? Max, how do you feel about ULTI 36 distribution, but over $2 now drop? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the market's down. All their stocks, remember, it follows. Let me show you this. I mean, it needs the market to go up. It's a bullish investment. Their stocks are heavily invested in Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners. And the ones that aren't are part of the meme economy. that economy's trash lately. I mean, it's not magic. It doesn't matter what strategy they do. If the market keeps going down, it'll keep losing money. But hopefully the new option strategy they have will keep them from the put costing them so much money. Their protection was costing them a lot of money. So they found a way to finance the protection. So hopefully it'll make the fund more efficient. Still the same idea though. It's going to go up. It needs the market to go up, or at least sideways. The market can't be in a free fall. I mean, look at this. I mean, Bitcoin to Coinbase. So, I mean, this, okay. So you look at look at this. I'll show it to you this way. All right. So here's ULTY, I'm sorry. This is with dividends included. I mean, if you take the dividends out, but this is factoring in the dividends. It's not dividends reinvested, just included. Now I'm going to pull up a chart here on the bottom of Bitcoin or Bybit. Okay, so IBIT topped out right here the same day this thing topped out, and this thing went backwards, but then this thing went for one more run. Well, guess where it topped out at on the last run? Right exactly where Bitcoin topped out. All right, and then guess what's happened since then? I mean, Bitcoin's down 20%. And because you could see that right here. This is the Bitcoin chart. All right. The last time Bitcoin did that, look what Bitcoin did in April. Look what Alti did. It's just, so it's gonna go with the market. It's gonna go with the market. Hopefully the new strategy will be a little bit more efficient, and hopefully they're putting more stocks in. More stocks makes it less concentrated, which can also maybe help it from going down so fast. And also they're going to put bluer chip stocks in there, like Nvidia, from what I heard, stuff like that. Probably Netflix and stuff, more blue chip stocks. That could also help. But if Bitcoin winners here and AI crashes, it's the same rule too. It's just, remember, you're playing the market when you're betting. You're playing the market. But anyway, so look at this though. This thing is off, including dividends, down from 505 to 438. That's 70 cents on $5. What is that? Less 1/5 or something. It's off 20%. Bitcoin's off 20% too. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. So it'll stabilize as soon as Bitcoin does. Anyway, let me make sure I didn't have any questions. That's a good question, Dividend Sith. Appreciate you asking that question. Where's Dividend Degenerate? Is he in here tonight? I'm sure there's Eric. Hey, Eric, how you doing, bud? CLM and CRF are almost the same. The real difference is how they are taxed. Well, see, I didn't even know that. If you want to put that in the comment, what the difference, and explain it in a sentence or two, I'll go down and read your comment. Thank you for being here, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Jonathan's here from the beautiful state of Tennessee. Love me, my southern states. Okay, so let me make sure. So I think I've caught up with your comments. PTSD from Forex trade. Yeah, I got you on that. Okay, well, I hope that works out. But yeah, so the $2 NAV drop, that's that's directly correlated to Bitcoin. It just what's this execute order 66? I don't get what that means. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I hear you, but I want more. I want more than 5 cents. I mean, I was disappointed with the 6.45 or whatever this paid, just like you guys were. I mean, I haven't been thrilled with it. I mean, I sold about a third of my ULTY, but not because I don't like it. It just was really high. I'd done pretty well in it, and I just was scared about the market going down. It turns out my intuition was right, because I sold my ULTY, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and so far it's looking like that was a good point to take a little profit. Now, if the market goes down more, then maybe I'll buy back in or whatever. But I think I have 17% of my account in that right now. I think that's plenty. There's so many other good funds out there. There's no reason to get just overloaded in any one fund, no matter how much you like it. All right, so these are good questions. Yeah, I know I'm with you on all that hoping and stuff too. I'm just, we just need just pull for Bitcoin and we should be all right. Go back and you look at any time the Bitcoin and the NASDAQ's gone up, and so has ULTY. Could they uncap the upside a bit more too? I mean, they don't ask me for my advice. That's not the way I would have done it. I mean, I think you know that. But as a consumer, that's fine. I can always, if I'm going to keep watching them, and you know who does do it like I like is ULTI. They have uncapped upside, and lately they've been capping their downside, and they did well today. So I'm saying, well, there's competitors out there. There's K-Yield. I'm not married to anything. I mean, but yeah, they did. So far in the builds that I've seen, or the way that their fund's going right now, I haven't seen any uncapped upside. I'm looking to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. I'm making sure there's no, I'm looking for one person. I'm making sure I didn't miss anyone's comment in here. Yeah, I guess Mayer's. I'm not looking for Mayer, but I guess Mayer is too late for him. He lives in Europe or in Israel. Where's this? Is Israel Europe? I guess it's Middle East. It's right there in the Mediterranean. I don't know what you would consider Israel. All right. Well, anyway. All right. It doesn't have to be right now, but an exaggerated educational guess could be fun. So, what are you saying? A guess as far as what it'll pay? What the new ULTY will pay? I'm thinking right now about the same. I mean, they just structured it a little bit different. With options, there's no free money. You can take a fund and you can put an option right at there. There are some funds out there where you can buy stock and you cannot lose money if you hold the stock for a year. Called buffer funds or hedge equity, but they have some where you physically can't lose money. You can invest in the stock market, but they're giving up something. There's no free money in life or in options in anything. So that fund will get hardly any upside. But all that options doing is you can move the risk from the bullish side to the bearish side, or you can add risk to one of the sides. You could say this thing's going up. You can do like the Pelosi's do, and find a company that's going up and buy leaps in it. And so, in other words, buy options in it, and you can make 3 times what you make in the stock market. So you can, with options, you're just moving risk around. That's all it is. You're just moving risk around. The government's now open. Is that right? Okay. What's the market? Why is the market not blowing up? They're opening the government. Okay, cool. Dude, I think that'll help. Yeah, nothing's happening yet. Okay, well, maybe in the morning they'll ramp it. Like I always say, Trump's a capitalist. I mean, at the end of the day, he wants higher markets, and not just him, all presidents, I mean, it's a bad look on your legacy if you have a market crash during look what happened to Bush. That just killed, that cost the Republicans the election. I mean, Bush ruined the economy so bad, not to mention the weapons of mass destruction and all this stuff. I actually like Bush and thought he did an all right job here and there. But I mean, in hindsight, looking back on it, he also caused a lot of, issues that hit us for years to come and probably got Obama elected. I mean, to tell the truth. But I mean, Obama did some good things too. Dude, all these guys are just different versions of this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a huge difference. They may not be on your team, but when it comes down to how they rule in the favor of whoever puts money in their pocket. And the people that put money in their pocket are the same people. It's the big pharma, big defense contractors. I mean, so they may just have different talking points, but it's all the same. I'd say 9 cents would be great. 9 cents would be great. And they were just there a few weeks ago. We were in the 4s when they paid 9 cents before. The reason the dividend's not always consistent is because they're selling options. And when you sell options, you're selling the IV. IV goes up and down over time. I mean, I don't look at the stocks they trade and evaluate each one of them, but the IV is probably down this week in the stocks they trade. And also sometimes maybe they had they could have one trade that went really bad. And even with the put protection, they still lost a lot of money, and that could, they'll be back. Hopefully we just need to root for the Bitcoin to go back up. If the government's back open and they'll ramp Bitcoin, we should be good. And still, I'm not telling you to hold ULTY, but maybe it'll give some of you guys a chance that don't like it to get out of it at your cost basis. I don't want to see anyone get stuck in it. So if we could get one more Bitcoin pump, if Bitcoin will go back to all-time highs, I'm not saying, ULTY will go back to all-time highs, but it'll go the right direction. And if, so I don't know when Granite Shares announces. Hopefully somebody in here knows. You kind of hate life right now because you went really, really heavy into MTPLF in June. Oh gosh, man, I hate to hear that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Looks like they burned DGen too. Yeah, I mean, I was my high yield model portfolio that I follow so closely and track and think about 24 hours a day was down 1% today. I mean, I got killed. I mean, and the market isn't even doing that bad, but I'm too heavy into Bitcoin based stuff. I mean, ULTY is probably about half related to Bitcoin, maybe more than that. Blocks is 100% correlated to Bitcoin. And then I also have WPay, which has some Bitcoin stuff in it. And, I mean, you just can't get away from Bitcoin. I mean, this doesn't show you what my overall fund was down, but I got murdered. Blocks was down 2.9. But even my good safe funds like WPay and like QLDY, well, WPay is a pretty good safe, kind of safer fund. It has a little bit of leverage, but anyway, it was down 1%. BITK, which is a fund I really like based on Bitcoin, was down 1.3%. Even QLDY was down. Silver was the star of the show. Look at that. K-Silv was up 4%. Heck yes. Gold was up 1.3, but everything else I had was getting murdered. Absolutely getting murdered. So, I mean, if I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't have gone so heavy into blocks. I would have waited, but I mean, I was trying to, that's the thing about the market. It's like playing cards. It's like playing poker. You're not only playing your hands, but it also depends what your neighbors are doing. You have to play the cards you're dealt. If you get a cold run of cards or whatever, or you misread the situation, it's like poker in the sense that you're making educated guesses, but based on imperfect information. You know what your 2-hole cards are. Maybe you know what your neighbor's cards are because she was sloppy and she, you saw it, but I'm saying, and you might have an idea because this other guy, is doing something that you think he's bluffing, whatever. You might have an idea, but the whole idea is you're trying to make the best decision you can with the limited information. The market's the same way, especially for retail. Now, maybe the guys in New York, they probably all get together at a bar and talk about what they're going to do tomorrow. But with us, we're just trying to kind of figure it out. So it's a lot like a poker game. I'm sorry, Grumpy. I'm sorry about that, man. That sucks. All right. Did you like my poker analogy? We're talking about the Japanese Bitcoin treasury, right? Oh, that's what that MLTPF is. I've looked that up several times. I always forget what it is. Tell us the answer that'll save all to you. I gave it to you. Bitcoin going back to all-time highs. And I mean, and the other thing is Alti is designed, anything that pays 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% is designed to go down and to the right. It's just math. It's just the math of it. And if you have something, but I know people say, what about, and they'll say something that like Palti. They'll say, well, no, Palti pays that much and it goes up and to the right. Yeah. Because its underlying stock is up 300% or something. It's all based on the underlying stock. So we just yes, things can go up and to the right, but when you have something that pays, triple digits, it's just count on it going down and to the right over time. Now, maybe it won't go down and to the right when you have it, but over time, over 2 years, it's going to go. I mean, that's the game. It's just going to go lower. Doesn't mean it can't be a good investment and have good total return, but that's what I designed the Max Factor for, to look at these. And if you look at the top 20 show every week, the ones that are on there are generally pretty good. I mean, not the single stock ones, but we always go through the highest diversified ones. And usually it's like Triple QI is a good one. KQQQ makes that list. There's back this summer, ULTY was on that list. ULTY was in the top 10 or 20 this summer all the time. Hell, Mr. Misty was on that list for a while. And Coinbase was. It's what have you done for me lately? We need, we're playing the market at the end of the day. Here's the best thing you could do with these high yield covered call funds. If you could predict the future, you would buy the high yield funds in the stocks that are going to be the hottest stock next year, like NVDY. If you knew NVIDIA was going to go up, you just put all your money. You could buy NVIDIA, but if you wanted a high yield fund, you could just put all your money in NVDY or NVDW or NV anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's the way some single stocks will prove you wrong for a while. Will prove me wrong when I say they're going to go down and to the right over time. Some single stocks can go up and to the right for a period of time, but I mean, just over any amount of time. Even something like NVIDIA, NVDY, which is a great company. If you look at their high yield fund, we'll go get a monthly chart out. I bet it goes down and to the right. It's just math. It's just math. You don't have to own it the whole time, though. You can try to own it during the times when it's good. But this is one of the best ones out there. But on the other hand, and it still is, there's nothing wrong with this. This chart is fine. Look at this. If you bought it the day it came out, it was at 20. It's at 15 now. You know how many dividends that thing's paid? It's paying at a 72% rate. Well, it's paid $11 worth of dividends just this year. So, I mean, we could go back a year. No, just because it goes down and to the right has nothing to do with if it's a good investment or not. But having said that, if you don't want something that goes down and to the right, just don't buy anything that yields over 20. I mean, just stick with Big Y and K Triple Q, and there's lots of good funds out there that don't yield over 20, but that's the only. So yeah, this paid $11.38 a year ago. It was at $23. Now it's at $15. Would you trade $8 for 11? I'd do that all day long. And look, that adds up to 17% per year, or that adds up to 70% total return. Well, you know what that means? That means you double your money about every 3.5 years. If you put 50,000 in this and you can make 17%, you put 50,000 in this or any other investment that makes 17%, and you're 40, you compound it to your 60, you're a multimillionaire. I mean, the rule of 72 says you double your money, you can divide it by 72. So if something makes 20, you got 20, 40, 60, 3.5 years, and you double your money. So you turn 50 in to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400, 400 to 800, 800 to 1.6 million, but that's every 3.5 years. So now you have to multiply 3.5 times 5, and that's 17.5 years. So if you're 40 right now and you could find something that makes 17% a year and compound it, you're going to have a 1.8 million. Do it in a Roth where it can grow tax-free or whatever. But these things can be great investments, even though it goes down and to the right. It's just a matter of total return. Total return is how you compound. The reason I made the max factor is I'm trying to point people towards the total returns that are more sustainable. So anyway, that's my speech on that tonight. You guys have heard that a million times, I know, but sometimes there's new people here. But yeah, that's my story. So MTLFP or whatever that's called, MTPLF is number 4 globally on Bitcoin ownership. Wow. What do you guys think? Is Satoshi, whatever that guy's name is he really dumping it? I'm seeing on X, and you can believe everything you read on X or True Social or Blue Sky. I promise you. I'm just joking. But anyway, in fact, most of it's false. But I'm seeing that he's dumping, that some whale, and they think it's him, has just unloaded the heck out of that Bitcoin, like 15 billion or something, or maybe 15 billion, just some obscene amount. I just saw it right before I come on. So like I say, I know it's true. Anyway, I didn't know if any of you guys heard about that. All right. Well, I'm trying to answer the Alti ones. The Alti video in regards to the exaggerated educational comment. I forgot what I was talking about. The exaggerated educational comment. Anyway, I'm sorry. I've been talking. It seems like I've been on live streams all day long, and I've made a video, and I've been answering comments, and I've told different things to different people. I'm getting tired too. Anyway, we catch up. We can catch up in Discord or whatever. I'll figure out what you're talking about. I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, the exaggerated educational content. Yes, I know exactly what he's talking about. Anyway, I try not to exaggerate anything, but I was, I was a little bit triggered with all these people talking about that Yield Max doesn't eat their own cooking and stuff. Anyway, I made a comment on it. I had a hot take. All right, what do you think about USOY and USOI? Okay, well, here's what I think about USOY. I lost my shirt in that thing, and it's because the oil's no good. But yeah, I bought that, and I bought that. Let me look at this. I bought USOY, and then I sold it at a big loss. Stupidly, I thought war was going to break out somewhere, and I thought it would make oil go up. The war never did break out, and oil never did go up. It's just the same problem with Alti and Bitcoin going down. I bought this thing. I bought USOY in right here. So, I mean, this is I didn't really lose money. I made money for a little while, but then I ended up losing money. But the problem with USOY is oil. Oil's gone straight sideways. These high yield funds where you print money is where you get a stock like, I'm trying to think of a stock that does nothing but like that. Only invest in high yield funds that do that, and you'll be fine because your NAV because you'll get a yield. And even though the NAV doesn't do, even though it's partially kept upside, whatever, you have something that's going up like that, you'll be fine. So the problem with USOY is its underlying looks like this instead of that. So, but here's the thing: if you let's say you're bullish on oil, and let's say you think oil's going to start doing that, and oil does do that occasionally, then maybe USOY might be good. But I mean, it hasn't been good so far. So that's what I would say about USOY. What's the other one? In USOI, they're both in the max factor. Maybe some night we'll do oil and I can compare them against each other. I don't really have an opinion. I just know that I bought USOY and I lost money. Chano said that he just ended his 11th month short. Good. So he covered. So when you cover a short, you have to buy. Now, granted, you're already short, so it's not new buying, but still, it takes pressure off the market. That's awesome. Or it is. I mean, yeah, you're buying. So it takes supply out of the market, which makes it go up. When people that cover their shorts, yes, that's bullish. Yeah, hey, Z Bikerman, I don't believe I've ever seen you around here. But anyway, it looks like maybe you're a first-time commenter. If you have been around here and I haven't noticed you, my apologies. Glad to see you're talking. See, yes, there's plenty of great closed-end funds. I might make a subdivision of the max factor that just has closed-end funds. And I have a list of 50 or 100 of them. Maybe I'll just put them all on there, but make it a separate factor. Make it the CEF factor, but whatever, because it may not be fair to compare them to high yield funds. But having said that, I do like to compare CLF and CR, and I'll tell you this, CLM gets in the top 20 a lot also. So I think it's good to compare them with each other, but I may keep them separate also so I can do some more content. All right, Udar, what are you saying? Why don't you invite Stephen Bavaria? Well, yeah, I don't know him, and I'd be a little bit embarrassed. I mean, I'd have to study a lot. I don't know what I'd even ask him. I mean, but yeah, I'd love to have him on the show, but I just have a feeling he's too big time. There's option bros I want to get on the show. There's a guy named Mike Green who's an option bro. He works for Simplify. I don't really like any of their Simplify funds, but I've thought about pretending like I like one of them and trying to get him on, or, pretending like I have questions. And I do have questions about SFAL. I think we have a lot of questions about SFAL, but with him, I could go back and forth all day because he's an option bro and he's on CNBC. He's a really smart guy. I like him a lot, but he's really famous, but that's the next guy I really want to get on. I mean, if Bavaria called me and asked to be on my show, I'd have him on, but that one's not on my bingo card, or whatever his name is, but I've watched his content. I like him. He looks like he's maybe 10 years older than me. And he has a real loyal following. His people love him. And yeah, I would love to in 10 years, if I could have his following, if I could build my station up to have his following. He may not be 10 years older, but I'd say he probably is. I'm 59. I'd say he's probably mid 60s. All right. So here's another question. Froggy, it'd be great to see you review oh, yes. In fact, we were supposed to do State Street funds tonight, but then I switched to closed-end funds. Maybe tomorrow night we can. Well, have they been around long enough? Let's go look. Have they been around long? As soon as they get in the Max Factor, we'll have a State Street night, and also we'll just start comparing them with the regular Max Factor funds. But yeah, State Street. I mean, this could be interesting. The one I would get if you stuck a gun to my head is XLKI, just because it's based on tech. But there's banking, there's real estate, there's everything. All right, so August, September, July. So August, September, yeah, they've been around 3 months. Yeah, okay. I need to put this in here. Yeah, maybe tomorrow night we can add the State Street funds in, and maybe I'll just do a Max Factor. I don't know about doing a review on them. I'm so behind on reviews. I need to do a review on there's some hardcore option funds coming out that I should review. I reviewed these when they first came out. I think this is more of a Max Factor episode, kind of a follow up and see how they're doing. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I could do something. I could do. Oh, you like them because they're thematic, yeah, and you can really control, what part of the economy you have. Like for instance, I look at this heat map all the time. This is a good tool. It's called stocktools.app. My affiliate code is stocktools.app/Max. This is all kinds of stuff for option bros, but it also has high yield. It has a dividend calendar. This is a great tool, but I'm making a point on this. I don't know why it's running so slow, but I wanted to show you something, and then I'm going to tie it into what we're talking about with State Street. It's going to be a really intelligent sounding point. It's just taking a second. Looks like the computer, the battery's charging. What is going on? Come on. Anyway, I was just going to show you, when you look at the heat map, and this Stock Tools has a heat map, and I was trying to show it off. When you look at the heat map, that's basically what it is all those sectors. And you can get, high yield, or not really high yield, but you can get option income from the very specific, sector of the economy. Because lots of times the whole economy the general economy will be down, but like maybe utilities will be going great or something. And you can invest in utilities directly now. Let me show you this. Okay, market dashboard. So like right here, they have the sector performance heat map. This roughly correlates in fact, this one's XLV, that's healthcare. XLF is the financial sector. So all you have to do is add an I, and it's the State Street. So XLVI is their covered call fund. And I think mostly they just have an I added on. Some of them may not work that way, but XLFI is financial. But yeah, I'll add all these into the Max Factor. But if you study this kind of stuff every day, and you remember somebody, Udar just asked me about USO. Well, that's in the energy sector. And energy seems like it's red almost all the time. I mean, when you watch this stuff every day, there's technology, it's neutral. This is just on a one-day basis, but I think you can also look out longer. But anyway, let me show you what's really cool about this. Lots of things are, but I go to this dividend income ETF analysis, and this is even better than anything I have. I have something called the buffer report. This is like the buffer report on steroids. So, and we haven't been here today. Let's see what the best performing funds of the day were. And then we can see what the best performing funds of the day were in comparison to their to their parent asset. So today, even on a bad day, we had Chippy was up 1.5, Fivey and Feed. I hate those two, but anyway, I'm just joking. But I lost money in Feed too. But Soxy had a good day. SDTY, that's an index-based fund from Yomax. That sells daily covered calls on the S&P. I like to see that killing it. But, so you can look at this kind of stuff. You could see which one was the worst one today, which one was I think that's only YieldMax's universe. And then you can say, I just want to look at NEOs. I want to look at YieldMax and NEOs. Or you could say, I want to look at everything. Now let's look at everything. Yeah, but this is a really good tool. I'd highly encourage anyone to go get this. If you don't have it, I think you get something. You get a little bit of time for free if you use my code. All right, so now this is everything. So let's see what the best fund on the street was today, or the best high yield fund. AMDW, my gosh, yeah, that's killing it. AMDY was up 6. I mean, you could see right here, the parent was up 9. So AMDY underperformed the parent, but heck, it made 6%. I don't think too many people are upset, but if you are, you can always get AMDW. They use a little bit of leverage. This is from Roundhill. This is from YieldMax. Roundhill does better on up days, and it beats the parent. The parent was up 9%. This was up 11. On a down day, it's usually going to be the opposite, especially a big down day. Roundhill will lose a little bit more than YieldMax. But if you have this tool, you can study these relationships on a daily basis. And I usually look at this on my show. So I just wanted to show that off. Let's look real quick and see for the past month what the best fund's been. What do you guys think? Probably AMDW, because, I mean, that's probably what it is. But for the past month, we'll see. Definitely hasn't been anything Bitcoin related. It definitely hasn't been Alti. I mean, so, but let's see what the best fund of the past month is. Worst funds, MST, which is leverage micro strategies or leverage strategy. Okay, best fund of the month is Winter. That's inverse Mr. or inverse strategy. Okay, I don't really count the inverse ones. I'm talking the best bullish fund, and I was right. AMDW, it's up 20% over a month, where the under the parent's only up 19%. But look at AMDY, it's up 15 where the parent's up 19. But like I say, you put a down month on here, AMDY will be ahead. But in an up month, AMDW will be ahead. If you could invest in AMDW on the way up and AMDY on the way down, if you could predict the future, you'd be ahead of the game. Anyway, go check out that tool. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the comments. I need to make a banner. All right, I'll talk about anything else. Yeah, Tuttle did say things are good. Credit, senior loans, high yield, so many equity funds. Yeah, there are so many equity funds. Did you guys see Roundhill was coming out with the fund called, what was it called? It's based on TLT, which is bonds. It's going to be boring, but it's going to be high yield. I bet it pays 12% or something. Right now, there's one called TLTI from Neos, and it looks like kind of a competitor to that. I forget the symbol. I think it's coming out pretty soon. I heard about a senior loan fund for Jay Petrocelli. Used to have a podcast I used to listen to even before I knew him. Yeah, it's called The Broken Pie Chart, and it hasn't been on it forever. I think maybe they went subscription. I just listened to it. But anyway, he was talking about one of their favorite things to use in the wealth management business. It doesn't have anything to do with YieldMax, but he said there's this company and they call it Sirloin, but it's SLRN, and they really like that. And it's senior loans, and it fills a void when you're even before Jay was at YieldMax, he was a wealth manager, so he hasn't always been in ETFs. He was a guy that you would come in if you had $1 million or more, or probably lots of guys that saw him had a lot more than that. He's down there in West Palm Beach, which is probably the second richest part of the United States, maybe behind Connecticut. But he's down there right in the midst of a lot of wealth. And so that's what he did before he did ETFs. He would manage money for families and wealthy folks. But he was saying on one of his podcasts that this was one of his favorite things. I never heard of it before, but now every time I see it, I hear about it. In fact, I even put this in the Max Factor before, and I forgot and I dropped out. But it's going to go back in the Max Factor because it pays 7%. Absolutely. I'll put that in there. I like to compare. It doesn't have to be covered call funds to be in the Max Factor. We'll look. I'll throw that one in there for sure. So what are you saying? You like that YieldMax is considering a target 25? Yeah. What about TEST? I like that too. I'm with you on that. What about TEST? I think I've looked at this, and what is it? It's Ethereum, right? Or no, it's Taiwan Semiconductor. And is it Taiwan Semi? No. What is TEST? Huh. I thought I heard, is that a fund that's coming out, or is that a senior loan thing or something? But I thought I'd heard of that, and I thought it was based on either Taiwan Semiconductor or something. FSCO also has senior loans. Well, maybe I should throw that on there as well. It has to be at least 5 or 6% to be considered. I put SCHD on there, even though it's not 5 or 6%, just because so many people have it, just to compare it, and it never gets in the top 20. It's because the max factor looks for the highest yield possible, but so SCHD doesn't have a very high yield, but also SCHD doesn't do great on NAV. At least it hasn't lately. But you have to do, to make it to the max factor, you have to have a nice balance of both. But yeah, this one pays 11.91%. Heck, let's just go throw that in the max factor right now. Let's just throw that in there. So I have my main database. Let's see how many we have, and I can show you what's coming up also. These red ones are coming soon. They just aren't old enough yet. Actually, AMYY is old enough, or no, it's not. It's old enough on the 16th of this month. Anyway, I'll deal with this stuff in my own time. But before I forget, let's put sirloin in there for sure, SRLN. And then let's put, was it FSCO? Sure, below. All right, I'm gonna go back and make sure that was it. FSCO, yeah, absolutely. You know what else we need to put in there while I'm over there? There's no fresh comments. While I'm over there, I'm gonna do this really quick before I forget. I'll forget by tomorrow. XLKI. Oh, it didn't make it in there. Well, let me see. I think if I hit return. That's that State Street Tech Fund. And I'll go put all the State Street funds in there tomorrow. But this tells me everything I need to know. This is the trailing 12-month yield, the inception date, the trailing 12-month annual return, the price 90 days ago, the price today, the price a year ago. It says NA because it's not a year old. And then all the calculations over here. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the advice on that. We'll definitely throw FSCO in there. Maybe some night we'll have a senior loan night or something. I don't know. Sorry, you thought it was Yield Max TAR. Oh, yeah, based on Tesla. Yeah. Well, no, that's probably is the ticker. That probably is exactly the ticker, because the T at the end, I think, is going to mean target. So they have TEST. Yeah. It's just that it's not out yet. So it's not going to be in FinViz. The guys over here, the guys over at YieldMax are frustrated because people always cry about, that how bad some of their funds do. And maybe that's legitimate for sure. It's legitimate. Okay. So then they bring out funds that do better. And the last time they did that, they brought out their Target 12 funds, and they brought out a really great fund called Big Y, but also Chip Y. Good fund and doing great. No one buys it. Because people, even though people complain about them, and the loudest voices complain loudest. And so on Twitter, it seems like everyone hates them and stuff. But anyway, but then they do something that actually helps. And then people say, no, you got to fix the new funds. You're scamming us, or, whatever. But anyway, I hope the Target 25 catch on. But here's my fear. I fear that maybe I hope I'm wrong. I'm just afraid they won't catch on, because people at the end of the day, they want that high yield. But maybe people have learned their lesson now. I don't know. Maybe because I'm one of the few channels out there that explains how it really works and stuff. Oh, there's other channels that do a good job too. But yeah, I know, and a lot of people have. And I'm not saying anything critical about it. A lot of people have. I mean, more than just a channel. A lot of people hate them, and that's fine. I mean, and I feel your pain. I feel your pain. They've been good to me, but I mean, on balance. But there's been some of their funds they brought out that I bought, and then I was like, why did I buy this dog? They all can't be winners. But yeah, a lot of people are disenchanted, especially in the ULTY crowd. And that's the people that I usually talk to. So I hear it all the time. hopefully they can turn it around. I mean, hopefully they can turn around. And the good thing is, even if they don't, it doesn't matter to me because there's tons of other companies out there. There's Neos, there's Granite Shares, there's, the Curve and Roundhill and Rex. I think Curve, Roundhill, Rex, and YieldMax are my favorite of I think those are the good ones. They're different. They're different funds, but they all have good things about them. And YieldMax is kind of more yield, but a little bit more safety on the downside. Roundhill, a little bit more upside. Rex is just right in between. Rex is kind of right in between YieldMax and Roundhill, and then Curve. And Curve is the lowest on the yield side, but is probably the best on the NAV side. So, I got it. I'll put those other one on there. I'll put all of them on there, Froggy. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I'm getting tired. I've been talking all day. It's 11 o'clock your time. I bet you guys are ready to go. Yeah, Defiance. But I still want to. I like Defiance's QLDY, but I wouldn't include Defiance in the best of the high yield group. I think what Defiance does is their leverage stuff, not even option, but they have some leverage funds that are like 2, 3, 4 billion. Their CEO Sylvia used to work for Direction, and I'm not saying they don't have some. SPY-T is a great fund. Triple QT is a great fund. But I'm not saying anything bad about Defiance, but I really think kind of the class of the field to me is YieldMax, Roundhill, Curve, and Rex. So I'm excluding Granite Shares and I'm excluding Defiance. But if you had to make a Mount Rushmore of funds, it would be those 4 funds. How many people are on Mount Rushmore? It's 4, right? Yeah. It'd be YieldMax, Curve. It would have Jay. It would have Howard. It would have Jay Howard, whoever the guy from Rex is, and it would have Dave Mazza from Roundhill. I just think those are kind of the class of the field. But that's just for me. Like I say, there's lots of choices out there. Amplify has some good funds. I mean, I like Baggy and Biggie. They don't do really well on the max factor. They haven't been lately, but of course, Bitcoin's pulling back. But yeah, lots of them have good funds. That YYY was impressive, and that's from Amplify. And that did really well on tonight's show. So lots of good choices out there, gentlemen. All right, guys, well, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you all being here. There's Buck. I don't think I've seen you in here before, Buck, but I appreciate you making a comment. There's 56 folks here. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I used to do these shows about 2 months ago, and if I got 20, it was a lot. I remember I did a live stream and I had Jay on, and I got 25. And I was interviewing Jay live, and that was huge. So anyway, but I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Anything we forgot to talk about, you can either email me, maxconvexity@gmail.com, or you can hit me up in Discord, or wait till tomorrow and I'll do another live stream and we could talk here. All right, guys, I'll get some rest. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.